In the spring of 2005, a tall, thin man walked through the misty cemetery outside Nizhny Novgorod. His name was Anatoly, a professor of languages and folklore, and since childhood he had felt a strange connection to the silence between the gravestones. As a boy, he had witnessed the funeral of a young girl. Someone had forced him to kiss her cold face, and something inside him broke. He grew up surrounded by books, mythology, and ancient rituals. He studied forgotten tongues and death customs from every corner of the world. Cemeteries became his classrooms. By his own account, he visited more than 700 of them, recording names and epitaphs in notebooks, sketching headstones, cataloging the lives of the long-forgotten. His small apartment filled with papers, maps, and trinkets from graves. In one corner stood a group of child-sized dolls, silent, stiff, with porcelain faces and faded clothes. Visitors thought he had a peculiar taste in decor. Only Anatoly knew that the line between doll and death had already blurred in his mind. Over time, the obsession deepened. He began to speak about the call of the dead, voices of little girls lost beneath the earth, asking to be remembered. He believed he could rescue them from their loneliness, perhaps even bring them back through science or ritual. On nights without a moon, he walked among the graves with a flashlight, whispering to the stones, "Don't be afraid. I'll take you home." He developed his own methods of preservation: salt and baking soda to dry the skin, cloth to reinforce fragile limbs, wax masks and plastic eyes to give them expression. He dressed them in bright dresses, knitted sweaters, ribbons in their hair. Slowly, his apartment transformed into a mausoleum of still life. The dolls sat on chairs and couches, arranged neatly as though waiting for tea. Some had music boxes inside their chests, so that when he turned a key, they would play faint melodies. His elderly parents shared the same flat. They believed the figures were harmless mannequins, part of their son's eccentric hobbies. Then, in November 2011, the illusion shattered. Police investigating a series of grave desecrations followed the trail to his apartment. What they found stunned even the most hardened officers: 26 mummified bodies of young girls, dressed and displayed as dolls. The air was thick with the scent of dust and wax. A girl in a pink dress sat on the couch with her head slightly tilted, her glass eyes fixed on the television. Another lay on the bed, hands crossed neatly over her chest, her face covered in layers of painted gauze. When questioned, Anatoly spoke calmly. He said the girls had called to him. He said he had brought them home because he pitied them, forgotten, cold, left alone underground. "I loved them like my daughters," he told investigators. "They were waiting for me." He was charged with grave robbery and desecration, but psychiatrists determined that he suffered from paranoid schizophrenia. In 2012, the court declared him legally insane and sent him to a psychiatric hospital instead of prison. The story spread across Russia like a nightmare whispered in the dark. News footage showed police carrying the dolls out of the apartment, small, stiff, wrapped in floral fabric. The world was horrified, yet morbidly fascinated. His flat became a symbol of the blurred boundary between devotion and madness. His parents later said they never realized what their son had done. They had lived for years surrounded by death and never recognized it. Now Anatoly lives behind hospital walls, surrounded by silence once more. The puppets are gone, the graves resealed. But those who remember the case say they can still imagine that small apartment, the curtains drawn, the faint melody of a music box echoing through the dark. A place where one man tried to give life to the dead and ended up burying himself inside their stillness. Don't forget to subscribe, please. I want to make more videos for you all, but really need your help.